My name is Silly Lily. We have Vampy and Shy on today. Ladies, figure out which one of you wants to go first and let me know. And we got about 5 minutes and I'll let you in the box. Okay. You have to go second? Okay. Vampy, you ready then in a few? We do have a Q and Q that we're going to go over here in a second, but I want to go over the rule reminders for those of you guys who are newer to these featured shows. So during the show, we're not allowed to interact really. Like, we can interact with you, but we can't stop the show and interrupt the guests for gifts and for favorites, right? These aren't like normal streams. So if you guys are looking to chit chat with me or one of the guests, just hit that star and come to one of the regular streams. Um, Thank you in advance for the gifts and especially the favorites, and your time, because Lord knows that you can't make more time, right? So thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate all of you. Um, let's see what else is there. Remember, we're not professionals. We're not professionals. We're just people. We've been through some crap, and we think that the crap we've been through, well, it's their lessons today, might be able to help somebody through something that they're going through, right? And that's important because sometimes when we're going through things, we feel like we're all alone. But when people are willing to make themselves vulnerable, it allows other people to know that they're not the only one, and that what they got through it, so can I, kind of a thing, right? So that being said, because my guests are on here making themselves extremely vulnerable, there is zero tolerance to the BS. And when I say zero, I mean zero. um my bouncers are ready at all times. um, let's see, what am I missing? What am I missing? If you guys are looking to be on the show, please reach out to Emoji J. He's down there in the comments. He is my admin, along with many other shows. So if you're looking to be on shows, be it this show, a game show, a dating show, I don't know, show, whatever show, okay? You reach out to Emoji J, and if he does an admin for someone who has a show like that, he sure will get you on a show, okay? That's his thing. He's good at it. Okay. Um, that being said, you guys ready to do the Q and Q? All right. So the Q and Q is a quote followed by a question. Bruh. Hey. Come on, man. Don't do that. Okay. Anyways, my quote is, I think that anyone who's pushed to do the very best that they can is privilege. It's a luxury. Who pushed you to do your best? I think that anyone who's pushed to the very best that they can is, I can't read that one backwards. I think that anyone who's pushed to do the very best that they can is privileged. It's a luxury. Who pushed you to do your best? Your mom. Brittany says your mom. Jay says myself. Boop says my daughter. Stabby doesn't have a comment at all. Renee says my grandma. Armin says my three daughters. Um, I'm gonna say my papa and myself, because I spent a lot of years alone, and if I hadn't had the memories of papa, I might not have pushed myself to get through them. But I had to do that legwork. You had to do your legwork. So, although there's other people to thank, if you allowed yourself to be pushed. Yeah. That's kind of right, Renee. Like, you learn from someone growing up, right? They push you to 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 do better. They show you the right way, and then once you're an adult, it's your choice, right? You make the choices. So yeah, I like that you separated that. Good call. Good call. Thank you for the favorites, guys. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. All right, guys, if you're just tuning in, we're getting ready to introduce Vampy. She's amazing. She's a sweetheart. She gets around on the app. She knows a lot of folks. She streams. I don't think she has like much like a set schedule. I think she's like most, rather random, but she'll fill us in for that. She's been here before, and I am really excited to have her back. And then we have Shy up second. So Vampy, are you ready? If you're just tuning in, guys, welcome to Lessons Learned. I am Silly Lily, and Vampy is about to hop in the box. But I think it's her flashing down here, but I don't want to hit the OK button until she tells me. You know, can't catch someone. You ready? Okay. So you can't catch someone like, brushing their hair or walking away or. Hello. How are you?
How are you?
I'm all right.
Time.
All right. Well, I thank you for coming back and
Of course.
coming to share more of your time with us over here.
Mhm.
I guess let's go ahead. We'll dive in. Let's discuss. Tell them what we're going to be discussing today.
So I know this is a touchy subject, and I know a lot of people deal with it too. But there's a quote. It's like the real you is enough. So we're gonna talk about like how people just they stretch themselves thin for other people, trying to prove their worth to others, but they're not, telling themselves that either too, because like you start making yourself believe that you're enough, and you do this and that to please everyone, but are you really pleasing yourself either?
People pleasing.
Yeah, very
People
much.
pleasing.
Yeah.
It's bad, guys. Stop it.
Stop it. Just
Stop
stop
it,
it.
guys. Um, I was a people pleaser for years.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted so badly, Vampy. I just wanted to fit in. I was willing to do anything to fit in, especially as a teenager with the cool kids, right?
Mhm.
But I think what I failed to realize at my young age that I realize now is what you said, is that the real you is enough. And it's okay if everyone in your friend groups likes to play soccer and you hate it. It's okay that they go play soccer and you go play bingo, right? For that whatever, and then you meet back up later or something. But I lost myself, and I lost who I was for a long time trying to just fit into everybody else's thing. So I was really glad when you brought this up because it's something that I've been talking a lot about over here, and I think it's
Yeah.
because I'm still struggling to believe some of it.
Okay, I
Like,
think most of us, okay? It's nothing, it's like, I know we know it's wrong, but what's wrong with that? You know? But yeah, it's hard. Like, you get this mentality in your head that, like, I need to, impress this person, that person to fit in with them. But are you really making yourself feel like yourself? You trying to please them. Do they, do you think they think you worthy? You know?
mhm.
Like, it happens to the most of us, for sure. And it's like it popped up in my head. Like Jay was like, "You need to have a topic." Like, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
that one popped up.
I think that like I like to tell my daughter, all the time that if you try to fit into all these cliques and you change the things that you like, that you're never going to find your people. You have to be you in order for your people to find you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're out there pretending to like soccer, running around that field looking like an ever loving idiot, when all you want to do is sit down and play some bingo, well, like, why not make friends with bingo people too? Like, if what you're doing isn't your passion, but you're just doing it to fit into a crowd, you're lying. Then hear me out. You have started the friendship based off of a lie. You, not them.
Mhm.
And then because ultimately you're not going to play soccer forever. You hate it, right? So all these
Right.
people that do that all the time, you know, whereas if you would have met from the beginning and been like, you know what, I'll come watch you play soccer, like, I don't know, once a month, but I go play bingo, and maybe you should come try that with me on a non-soccer night, you know. And you try each other's things, and if you all like it, you do. If you don't, you don't. But your people aren't going to care that you don't like the same exact things that they like. In fact, they're probably going to be thankful because a little time apart never hurts anybody, right?
Exactly. Exactly. There we go. Right there.
So yeah,
Like,
this, like I said, this topic was, we've it's been really, because my daughter's about to be 13 in a month,
yeah.
and I just, oh god, kids can be really mean.
Yeah, true. Like,
Y'all, I ain't never wanted to smack so many kids in my life. Like, what is wrong with you? Talk nice, behave. Where's your mama at? You know, like,
the peer pressure, like kids nowadays, they get peer pressure and into something they are not into doing because they scared that the other kids is gonna bully them. And
yep.
that's the worst part. That's the worst part.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like whenever I was in school, it was the same way too. Like I would pressure
Mm-hmm.
to be someone that I wasn't,
Right.
but they I wasn't really happy about what I had. Like, trying to prove myself to other people to fit in a group, a clique,
No.
whatever. So like, and it affects people too, like
Yeah.
it's crazy how he does because like you think about it over and over and then it sucks in your mentality, right? And then we try to make our stuff enough for someone else, but we're not really pleasing ourselves on top of that either.
Right.
You know, like if you don't find your stuff enough, who else will find you working enough?
Yeah.
Also, you know what I mean? But yeah, definitely, high school is one of them too as well, and like they got kids that just bullies, just
Yeah.
bullies, and you
I
don't have to.
I know, like, my son was in both ends. He was really bullied, but then he would do bullying, you know. And I don't handle it. So he would get in a lot of trouble when he started fights. And it was different if he defended himself. But if he started it, or I caught word of him poking fun at somebody, you know,
Mhm.
he 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 got in a lot of trouble. But I wish that more parents could see that you're, look, I understand that you got a good kid, and at home he may act a certain way, but I'm telling you, some of y'all's kids are mean. Have that talk with them. Pretend like you know. Billy would never ever say or do such things, because listen, if that's your first thought, my kid wouldn't do that, your kid's doing it. Because that was me with my son. My son would never get bullied. He's bullied. You're out of your mind. You're crazy. Turns around. Guess what? My kid was a little bad word. Okay. Bad. Like I never been so mad in my life as when I found out my son was bullying. And
Mhm.
he's told my daughter that story, and she stands up to the bullies so far. So
Mhm.
I'm okay, you know. She gets picked on though, even more, because she does defend, you know, but she
Mhm.
stays strong. But yeah, I wish that more parents would remind these kids that everybody's human and has feelings. You know, and I know we can't stop it all, but as a parent who sees it,
Mhm.
I feel like we could do more talking to our kids about respect.
Yes, exactly. And I feel like it also depends on how they family raised them too as well, and that's why they go to school and they all different kind of ways too. It could
Mm-hmm.
be on parenting, it could be something they probably going on in their personal life we don't know about. But it doesn't, like, bullies, they do that. They peer pressure you into doing something that you're not wanting to do.
Mm-hmm.
They try to they want you to well, they'll probably want you to fit in, but they probably like use you as a laughing stock, probably. Like some of them they use you as a laughing stock.
They'll use you to their advantage, kind of a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Pretty much.
I I yeah, I've been there before. Um is the one they used to laugh at.
My bad.
I was, God, I was such a dork in school. It's okay though. But I just say I think back to some of the stuff. God, kids were mean. Kids were really mean.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know.
I don't miss nothing but high school. Like I was one of the ones that was got bullied on in high school. Didn't miss nothing about high school, but man, I'll tell you what, these kids nowadays, like I've been hearing stories about these kids and that my mom's friends, because they're in school now too, know, and it's like hearing these stories about how these other kids treat them and stuff, and and that brings on depression at a young age, believe it or not, though. Because like her daughter didn't want to go to school because she was bullied. She kept
Hmm.
herself locked up in a room for a couple of days. She didn't want to come out. But like when other kids bully other kids, they don't know what they're going through. Then they don't care about the bullies. Don't care about other person's feelings either. And then hearing that my friend's daughter is going through that right now is kind of scary because she knows to not lock herself away. That she's like feeling
I
depressed. She didn't want to go to school. She started skipping school, and then what's it doing now? It's causing problems at home.
so I mean I'm not sure what you and the mom have told her, but I think one of the best pieces of advice that I was given. Now, granted, I was a lot older when I finally understood it, but nobody really ever said anything to me in the first place, right?
Mhm.
But about hurt people,
Mhm.
and I remind my daughter, like, if somebody's poking fun at you, and we had the one instance, right, where this one boy was he's been bad, right? He's said and
Yeah.
done some stuff that we're not even gonna get into on here, right?
Mhm.
Well, come to find out after some research, one parent's in prison, the other parent's in going through active addiction, lives with a grandpa who's a drunk. Like, do you see what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So like I so when I told her, I said, look at this kid's life. I said, pray for him. Don't be mad at him.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like I says, but take this as a lesson that even though, because she's mad, she doesn't have another parent. There's just me.
Mhm.
And I said, but take it as at least you've got one parent there that is always here for you. I said, so understand some kids don't even have that. I said, so when kids are mean, pray for them. Pray for
Mhm.
them. And I mean that in a sincere way because that comes from some type of pain from in the
Mhm.
inside. You know what I mean? So I try to remind my daughter that, like, and I know that as an adult we're sitting here like, yeah, just parents, get your kids in order or whatever. But some of them
Yeah.
kids really don't have that parent to do that, and anger is all they really know,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
Exactly.
So for those kids getting bullied, for those of you who've been bullied, just remember that them kids that bullying and hurting each other hurt people,
Mhm.
and them kids are hurting from something at home, and of course they're gonna hide it too, right? So that all goes into the be who you are stuff too, because you find your people and the people you can trust,
Exactly.
and
Like soon you find the people that you surround yourself with. They are positive. They always have your back. They lifting you up. Those are your people who's there, like whenever you need them the most. Those are your people. They don't get upset about what you want to do in life or what your life goals is. Those are your people whenever you find them. And honestly, this is what I love about the app too. I go around the app like she says. I go around the app
I see you everywhere.
everywhere. We have the same people just about it, and mostly just like so far mostly positive people that we like me still Lily will probably just see each other in the streets. There are positive people who believe in success and as well as a streamer or a content creator like Silly herself. So it's like being surrounded by good, amazing people. It can be encouraging as well. They don't try to build you down. And, we do have some people in other that will do bad things and like try to break you down or whatever. But yeah, like seriously, finding the people that you want to be around, you know, that want you to succeed or want you, be great, that lifts you up as a person. You don't want no one that's gonna trying to break you down as a person, try to you know, feed all this negativity about this and that person, like find your people. And that's very important because you don't have to show them that you're enough. They know that you're enough.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. They just, if they're your people, they're gonna accept you for who you are. You're good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, the all of it, all of it. And
Right.
I I am just glad that I'm able to help my daughter through this, whereas I didn't really have, I got the you're fine, it's fine. They just don't believe it's just words. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
Yeah.
ah! So I never processed that stuff. I learned all this stuff way older in life. Like all these lessons, most of the stuff people probably learn by high school or by the end of high school or at
Mhm.
least through college, right? Whereas I didn't learn this like, and I knew it, but I didn't accept it until I was in my 30s.
Mhm.
But I also spent 25 of those 30 years angry, you know?
Mhm.
So it wasn't until I accepted my mistakes and started that forgiveness process, which is a whole other topic, that I was able to find myself, to be myself, to find my people.
Mhm.
And sometimes it takes a while if you once you lost yourself, guys, but I promise you that journey is so worth it.
It's worth it. Just always be yourself. That's what I tell people. Like, I am a quiet person. Like, y'all know I'm a quiet person because that just exactly me in real life. I'm quiet. I like helping people. Also, what I do in real life, try to be yourself on it off the app too. Don't try to persuade as Sona, persuade Sona. I think I supposed to say it wrong. On the app and be someone else outside the app, or always try to be yourself. I know it's hard. I get it. There's a lot of people on this app, and you try to fit in. I know it's hard, but
Yeah.
definitely try to be yourself. And that's a hard process of work in progress, because like right and find out like my people were, you know, I had a little persona, but it wasn't the fact that I was like dissing from who I was in real life. So it just like I changed, like, you know what? I'm gonna bring this to the app. Like people didn't know I was into wrestling. Though I do outside of when I'm not streaming or not on the app. I love wrestling. I'm going to wrestling
Right.
bit Saturday. you
Nice.
know,
Nice.
I learned to be more open because like I was scared to open up with myself when I first started streaming, and a
Right.
lot of people didn't know that about me, but I love wrestling and stuff like that. So I start one way of streaming. I started opening up about myself more often, and not being scared to open myself up to people, like
Yeah.
that.
Right. I was too. This definitely helped bring me out of my shell. I'm not gonna lie about that. Um,
Hmm.
it's and it's crazy. Once I had the realization, like, oh my god, I'm really being myself, and these people really keep coming back. Like, wait a
Exactly.
minute, and that was when I was able to kind of start believing in it, because I
Exactly.
put myself out there, but it was just on here, but I still did it, um, lo and
Hmm.
behold, we're creeping up
If you
on
don't
Jesus.
believe it, there's
April will be
nothing.
3 years. Oh, it'll be 3 years in April. It's
Woo!
crazy.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Cheers to 3 years.
I mean, I know it's not right around the corner, but it's also right around the corner, And I've
Oh
come a
yeah,
long
we
way
got
and
one
I've
more month
heard
left
a
in this year. That's so
wow.
crazy.
This is
Some people is coming out.
crazy. But
This
all
year
right,
about.
man. Oh God.
Oh, I was saying 2023 went by so fast. We already about to approach 2024. It's so crazy. Like,
And
oh my goodness, I can't believe it. A lot has happened throughout the years, man. And at times fly by when you're on streaming, you're streaming every day. So I feel like it's more faster now, like when we involve streaming into our daily lives and do what we do outside. Like it's like did we just got into 2023 and now we almost did 2024 like in 1 month from now?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
My
so
my baby's about to be 13, and my son's about to be 23. Like, are you
bad.
kidding me? What in the heck is going on here? Didn't
Time
we
to
just
wait.
celebrate this last year? You know?
Yeah, like time to wait for anyone. Life is too short. So live like the fullest, guys. Take notes. Live
Right,
like the
right.
fullest.
All right, guys. So, unfortunately, we're running out of time. So, Vampy, was there anything else you wanted to add to this?
um, just remember to stay yourself. Always stay yourself. If you can't please anyone else, please yourself as a person in general.
Once you put yourself first, you'll be surprised what starts to fall in line.
Exactly. I had learned that myself
All
for sure.
right. And then Vampy, tell us when we can find you. If you have any other events, what your streams are like. Just give us some details.
I have to have like all my stuff wrote down that I do. But well,
she's she says, let me get my journal.
there's my journal. I'm always writing my journal. Like I try to make sure I don't forget anything that I do.
I
But
write in it too, but that doesn't mean I look at it. And I even made mine a genie, hoping that he'd make me remember, and I still can't remember.
okay, so what I got coming up, well, first of all, I don't have a streaming schedule, but I do pop on here and there. You catch me, well, now you catch me every Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern with my show called Fancy Musical Madness every Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. So exciting and stoked having my show running every Tuesdays. Next Tuesday we don't have a show because of Thanksgiving week, but we'll be back with the championship number 28. Um, I'm an admin for Cinema Square with DJ Yeah Boy. My way down. See, it's featured. It's featured some Mondays at 10 p.m. Eastern
Is
with
this
DJ Yeah
featured
Boy.
now? Is this
Yes, it
featured
is.
now? I didn't know. I'll have to go. I don't get into people's streams as much as I want to. I haven't seen him on for at least a week.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna have to find him, or I'll send him a message on IG if I don't see him soon. Yay! Yeah.
It's better stuff and everything. Like it's so pretty. Oh my goodness! Like I'm so stoked. Also, catch me every Sunday on Unstoppable Idol until I get eliminated. But catch me every Sunday on Unstoppable Idol every Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern. I will be performing this Sunday. Make sure you tune into that. I do have an auction December 29th for New Year's, so it's like that online. But that's also I know that I have coming up. I'm also on Friend Disposed with when the um Wednesday with Vera Raider. It's gonna be
Okay.
fun. And I
Oh
don't
my god, I
know
have
what
hiccups. I'm
I
sorry.
have a lot of stuff. But anyway, sorry for taking up so much time.
All right, guys. So if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you have Vampy favorited, please. Vampy, again, thank you for coming back. That was an amazing topic. And then Shy, I'm gonna do a little bit of a segment here. And between the two of you, it's my self-care, self-love segment. If I can get rid of these hiccups. So while I'm talking, I'm trying to it's almost like I'm holding my breath. I don't know. I hate the hiccups more than anything in the world, guys. Like the hiccups are like a torture to me. Damn it. I did just take a drink of water and was trying to switch up my breath. So something with hiccups is if you breathe really slow, and then you do a couple of fast breaths. And then you go back to slow breaths. And changes something within the diaphragm, which gets rid of the hiccups. And it's really hard to do when you're talking. And I'm sure I look absolutely ridiculous because it makes you change how you breathe. Everything's about the breathing. Think about it. When you eat peanut butter, you're like, and then you stop breathing and then, because think about it. Anyways, okay. I think they're gone. All right. But I'll have to try peanut butter one time if this doesn't work. But generally, if this doesn't work, I can take a straw and drink water, and that makes it go away. But then I burp a few times because I swallow air. All right, guys. Self-care question number 1. What have you done for yourself today? What have you done for yourself today? Cool Dude says coffee. Goober says woke up. What else we got? What have you guys done? Not being late. Nice, Vampy. That's a goal I should have. Welcome to the gang. Amandu, it's not a good thing for you, Stabby, but the shower I'll accept. And Brittany says, I finally got to watch the show. Yeah, because he wasn't here. The heck you mean? Haven't given T a hard time. He just got here. Goober said I reminded her not to be late. Drink some dang water. Drink some dang water. All right. Do you follow the advice you give others? Do you follow the advice you give others? Most of the time. All the time, no. Like I try to, but it's just a matter of like I don't always, believe in myself as much as I should. So like, I'm still working on that. I have to. I'm a coach. So I think that I'm gonna go with the most of us should probably say sometimes, because I feel like especially now that I have a teenage daughter, like I try to really set the good example, and I really try to make sure that she sees me positive. And I feel like because I have kept most of that. Now, don't get me wrong. I let her know when times are tough and we sit down and we have talks, right? But I just keep it really real with her. And I'm very open and very honest with her. And I feel like that has helped her become stronger. Because she's a pretty strong-minded, strong-willed, independent 12-year-old, about to be 13 in a month, Guys, welcome to Lessons Learned. My name is Silly Lily. We meet here every Friday. If you missed Vampy, we were talking about how you have to stay true to yourself, to believe in yourself and be who you are, and the right people will find you. And I think something I want to add to that and is something that a lot of younger kids, especially, they all want hundreds of friends, right? But like if you can walk away at the end of the day knowing you've got 1, 2, maybe 3 good friends, that's all. You are doing better than most, because the people that have hundreds of friends, they have acquaintances. You, however, are forming real bonds with your small clique. And those bonds will last forever. Whereas when you're a people pleaser who goes around trying to fit into groups, you'll end up like me. Whereas you really didn't like any of them, you just you wanted to fit in. So like, you just did what you had to do. But then when you got older, you were finally like, you know what? I don't even know if I like these people that I just spent my entire high school career trying to impress. Like that was a hard pill to swallow. I have spent so much of my life trying to fit in that I had lost who I was, and I feel like I'm still partially finding myself. I feel like the people I'm meeting on my journey right now in the past year or two are helping me to find who I am in different ways and making me see what I want and see what I don't want and experience new things to know if I like new things. So that's kind of where I sit with that. I don't really know where that all came from, but I guess it's lessons learned, and that's part of a lesson. So I'm going to give you 2 tips, and then Shy, get yourself ready, darling, because I'll have you in the box here in just a minute. And I think that with this crappy weather I want to remind everybody that if you've got a decent evening or even a decent 20 minutes to get outside, I know some of you live where the weather's still beautiful and gorgeous right now, and all of you can kick rocks and kiss my derriere, because where I live, it's going to snow at literally any second. Okay, maybe not today, but it's going to probably snow any day now. And then it's supposed to be a bad winter, and I'm going to be cooped up, and I'm going to be so sad. But make sure y'all find an outlet for that energy. Get your butt a membership to a gym. Put on your winter, clothes that you would go build snowmen in with the kids, and go for a walk in this freezing, yucky crap. Because I'll be taking y'all on at least a couple of hikes, right? And I think that it'll be pretty to go in the snow. But we all know I don't like the snow. We all know I don't like going outside when it's cold. But I also know that when I'm done, I'll feel better because I find myself when I go into Mother Nature. So go outside, explore, be outdoors, enjoy Mother Nature, listen to the birds chirping and, the bugs doing their little chattering. And then my last tip, drink your water. I have to drink more of my water. I've been really bad with it lately, especially because I went back to work and I'm just like, oh, look, there's Coca-Cola. I don't want water. I want Coca-Cola. And I've lost my will to say no. So we got to find that will again, and drink more water. I love a good soda, and I don't keep it in the house. Right? So like, but whatever. All right, Shy, are you ready, love? Thank you again for the gifts, guys. Thank you for the favorites. And more importantly, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate all of you being here. And if you're just tuning in, this is Lessons Learned, and we meet here every Friday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time. If you missed Vampy, you missed her talking about, all right, I'm letting you in, how you've got to be yourself. Stay true to who you are, and you will find the people you're meant to be. But yeah, I really truly like that topic, and I know Shy's topic, and she has a good one too. How are you? Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate you allowing me on your platform. This is my first time here. And I love that Vampy's title, her lesson learned kind of goes right with mine. So that's like perfect, works out perfect. Yeah. Shout out to her. And thank you for the compliment. So my lesson is you cannot want a life for someone else that they themselves do not want for themselves. So that's the lesson. A life that you see, the potential that we see within our loved ones, within our friends, they may not want that life for themselves. That may not be something that they want. And to me, that is a lesson of love, because we're supposed to love unconditionally. To me, that kind of ties into if you have a spiritual background or if you are religious. So the way that I learned this lesson, so I did grow up in the church. I was married for 15 years, and I was the petitioner in the divorce. So that means that I'm the one that said, sign them papers. I'm out of this covenant. I'm leaving, right? And for me, it was an epiphany, an aha moment. It was that unconditional love. It was me saying, hey, I have been doing this over a decade. I have been, applying the religious principles. I've been staying, I've been praying, I've been fasting. I've been, doing the opposite of that. I've been raising hell, raising Cain. I've been doing everything. I've been doing everything for over a decade. Ain't nothing changing.
Right.
And I was outside walking, and it was like my inner self began to speak to my inner self, and it was just this conversation with myself saying, what if, and for me, it was my then husband. What if your husband doesn't want to be this person? Can you be married forever to who they are today? And I was like, no. What? What? Now we are growing, we are developing, we are going places. And my inner self was like, no, that's you. That's what you're doing. And you're trying to force somebody to live a life that they are telling you they don't want. They're
Right.
telling you, I'm doing this to make you happy. I'm doing this because this is what you want, but this isn't what I want from you. And to me, unconditional love was not giving up. Unconditional love was pushing. And I had to come to an understanding that no, unconditional love in this time, in this instance, for me and this person, for me to love myself unconditionally, and for me to love this person, because if I love you, I should want what you want. As long as it's not harming you, as long as it's not hurtful for you, as long as it's not destructive to anyone around you, I should want what you want for you if I love you, if I really love you. So am I being selfish? And this was just something that came to me. So it was a life lesson, because after that situation, I looked at, everybody differently. I didn't see anymore what I saw in them. I started to listen. I started to actively listen to people and see, where do you see you? What do you
So
want for you? So that is
that's
my
good.
lesson. That is my lesson.
That's a good lesson within itself, is having explaining to people, and it's something I'm working with my daughter, is you have to listen to understand, not to respond.
Yes.
And if the world could do more of that, we don't necessarily have to even understand it or get it in any way. We just have to accept that people are different, and sometimes we want different things. We're going different places. We have different hobbies, and no matter if it's a serious topic or not, it's just a matter of acceptance. We don't have to like it, but that's who they are. We don't want somebody judging us for what we do and looking down upon us because we enjoy whatever, weird hobby or sports, or, you don't like hockey. I do. You think it's violent. I think it's funny. You know what I mean? Like but God, I wish I had just learned that so much younger in life. I wish that is something that we could like embed in our kids' brains to understand.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah, I definitely think that is a lesson that comes with time and experience and truly loving someone, because until we have that type of connection where it's past the physical, it's past, oh my goodness, you look good to me, oh my goodness, I love to touch on you, I love the way you touch me, I love the way you treat me.
Mm-hmm.
When it gets past those things, and it's really on the development and the character and the morality of the person, like when you really love someone, you want them to be the best them on the inside out. So I think with those type of connections and those type of relationships come different type of experiences, because you don't have the challenges and the tests that those type of connections bring out. And like you said before, you may know a million people, but those aren't going to be your friends. You're not going to have that close encountered connection with a million people. You're going to have a core foundational, group. Now your group may be bigger than others, but it's still, everybody's going to have a core foundational group. And those people, we have a different type of emotional pull from them. Different things would trigger us. If they did it, somebody that's in that million group is not going to affect us the same. So just as we live and as we allow ourselves to be open and to truly love unconditionally and be loved unconditionally, because sometimes it's easier to give that love to others but not be able to receive it for ourselves. Just like you said earlier, I can encourage you all day long, but when it's me and I'm in the corner by myself, I can't do it for me. I need somebody else, So that happens. That's natural.
That hit me in my ew feels, my feels, because I definitely struggle with that part of it, that believing in myself and believing that I'm, worthy in some ways. And like, I don't think I'm a bad person, but I just still don't. I don't know. I don't know how to see myself as valuable. I still struggle with that. Like I said, before, I still have my stuff I'm working on. I'm better than I was, don't get me wrong, but it's just, ew, feelings.
It's definitely like that though. I think we all go through that. And not in every area, but just in some. You know what I mean? In some areas, I'm sure you're like, I'm a freaking conqueror. Bring it this way and I'm gonna knock it down. In other areas, it's like,
Well, it's like in my work ethic. I have a hell of a work ethic. My dating past, not so much. So we just, like I have kicked butt at work and I've got it, right? It doesn't matter what job you give me, I'll figure it out. But like When it comes to like dating, I just have the worst. I have a broken picker. I don't know how to pick them. It's like I pick the most broken being that I can find on the regular, you know. So we stopped picking years ago, and I've just really focused on myself, you know, and I feel like that was so needed for me, you know, super needed.
Love
But
it. Love it.
yeah.
Not your manager of dating.
No, I'll be your manager of the. Yeah, I'm not dating, man. Look, it is gonna take one very persistent, strong-willed mother trucker to even get me to go on a date. Okay, because like I've tried a couple of dates. And the last date I went on. Are you ready for this, Shy?
I am.
We went to a restaurant and I got a chicken salad and a water because I had to drive, right? Met him there. So my total was like $12 and some change. Okay. The bill was like 80 something dollars because he was doing shots and drinking beer and had a steak and whatever.
Gotcha.
And when we left the restaurant, I went to say my goodbye and he grabbed my arm and he said, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "Home." "I bought you dinner." "Okay. So you're not coming over?" Man, I reached my purse. I grabbed a $20 bill. I literally smacked him in the face with it and was like, "Nope." We're done.
That's wild.
And then like I went on like, I don't know. I've gone out to eat, but I don't really consider that like a date. Like a date, you need to plan it and make it, you know, dinner is just dinner. You know, you want to take me on a date, you better make it worth it. That's all I'm saying.
I like that. I mean, that dinner is just
No,
dinner.
beautiful blessing. I didn't buy him dinner. He bought me dinner. And then because I wouldn't go back to his house after our first date, he got angry at me. So I just grabbed a 20 from my purse because it was just easier to grab the 20 than count out $12. And I just threw it at him and walked away. I didn't buy him. I paid for mine. So then that way he wouldn't feel as though I owed him anything.
Facts.
Even though I didn't in the first place, that was just my literal smack in his face.
I didn't need your $12 dinner, sir.
Right? Like seriously. All right, back on topic. Sorry, we went totally sidetracked on that a little bit. If you guys are just tuning in, this is Shy. Please hit her with the favorite. You guys both just had great topics on just being yourself and acceptance and I really feel like that's a huge I needed to hear all that today. I think as much as I'm like ewing and over here, the more I'm doing that, the more you're hitting me in my feels.
Yeah, I think it works in everything, in all aspects of life, especially here on this app. Whether you are a streamer, you're a supporter, you have to accept that, you're not going to be for everyone as a streamer, and everybody is not going to be for you as a supporter. So I think it just goes in hand in all aspects of life, even with jobs,
Yeah.
careers. I'm sorry that you did all that time in that specialty and that degree. And I'm sorry that you have all those student loans accumulated, but if you find out it's not for you, it's not for you. Yeah, acceptance is a big thing.
Yeah, I agree. I God, I didn't realize how badly I struggled with this. I guess is probably the best way to put that. As we're talking, I'm just my brain is processing because when I read your guys, so normally I have you guys tell me the stuff in advance so that I could process all of it. But it wasn't until we started talking that I realized how much I hadn't processed yet. So sorry if I'm kind of like all over the place, I guess. But yeah, it's acceptance, guys. You got to learn to love yourself, and then in the process of doing that, you become true to yourself, and then in the process of that, you find your true friends. I don't know.
I love it. We have to be our true self to find who's truly for us. Because I think sometimes we're still searching for ourselves. We don't know fully who we are, who we want to be. We don't know fully how to obtain what we see ourselves, And in the process of that, we're meeting people. And sometimes it's just that we aren't fully developed. And as we develop, Now it's like, oh, okay, well, I understand maybe you were for this season, or maybe you're for this particular aspect of my life. I have compartmental friends. I have friends that I go and I party with. I have friends that I like to go into nature with. I have friends that I like to kick back and just relax and smoke and choke with, but when we
Yeah.
all when we all get together, it doesn't always work, right?
Right.
Just because we're all connected to me, it doesn't mean that they're all going to be connected to
Right.
each other.
Right.
And I think that's important to understand that we're still learning, we're still growing, we're still developing. And so those around us probably are as well. You know, take time, enjoy the moment, as they say. Enjoy the
Yes.
moment.
Yes. That's something I've learned over very pretty recently in the last couple of years too, is just not worrying about the things you can't do anything about in that moment, and looking around and watching the kids, and just absorbing what is good, and focusing on some of the good instead of just the bad.
Yes.
Because when you sit there and you dwell on the negative, you're breeding more negativity, right? Like the more you talk bad, the more you talk down on yourself, the more you think this is going to stink, the more likely it's going to stink, and you're going to continue to grow negative feelings on yourself. But and this is kind of funny, but I don't know if you guys know, if you've known me for a while, you guys have heard Mel Robbins. And one of the things that she does is she wakes up and she high fives herself and says three positive things. And but in that moment where she's high fiving herself, because it's a half for us, it's the way she explained it was, it's we put high fiving together with something good, right? Because anytime something good happens, you high five. So while you're high fiving yourself, you literally, it's almost impossible to think something bad. So then after I do that, then I have to say three positive things. And I'm trying to start my days off like that. And sometimes I just look at myself and I high five myself and roll my eyes, and I'm like, you're lucky you got that today. But I tried, right? Like sometimes I
Consistency.
just don't want to be nice to myself, So sometimes it's just a high five, but at least in that split second, it's something that's not negative, right? Because it does. It feels weird at first. It really does. You're like, here's the and I'm like, damn it, now I gotta wash the mirror. I gave up. I just wash it like once a week now. I'm like, my handprints all over the mirror.
I love that.
All right, well, we are very quickly running out of time here. So please, if you want to add to this, is there anything else you wanted to add to what you've had to say?
No, that was it.
Well
Just,
then,
understand the life you want for those that you love. It may not be the life that they want for themselves. And true love means you accept that and love them through it.
yep. All right, now tell these guys when you stream, what hours you stream, what we can find in your streams, if you have any other events coming up.
Okay, so I do have a lot of events coming up. So go ahead and hit your screen recorder real quick and you can just play this back because we're not going to remember it. First, hit the fave for me because that's how you're going to find me. So this evening, I will be on Quotes with Reddington. That will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Tomorrow at 9:35 Eastern, I will be in Top Badge Coley Cole's auction. It is called I Got Five on it. You can look her up to look at all the people in there. My time is 9:35. Sunday, I am doing a Friendsgiving in my stream. It's hosted by another streamer, Miami Pink. It starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. And so it's pajama theme. We'll be playing games and things of that nature. It is BYOE. So bring your own everything. Wi-Fi is going to be the most important thing that you bring. Just go ahead and hit me with the fave. I'll normally be on live in the evening time on the weekends between 9 and 11 Eastern. And then I stream pretty much all day on Sunday when I'm not doing shows and stuff. I'm a hot commodity. Just save me.
Just do it. I love the energy, man. I know that. I love the energy. I've got you favored already. But you guys definitely hit her with the favorite. Thank you for being here. Sorry, I was getting my card out.
My show. Hit my DM.
For my Q&Q. But guys, hit her with the favorite. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for the invite, and shout out to Emoji J. I really appreciate you for plugging me with Silly Lily. I appreciate, the opportunity to really come on here and share a little piece of me that I honestly don't really talk about a lot in my stream. So I really thank you for this. And your comments are blazing. All the people in here are amazing. Vampy, you did that, love. You did that. I'm gonna be in the comments.
You both were great today. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I have two of these Q and Qs. J, T, are you both ready? Thank you for the heart eyes. I think we're going to go with the easier one, and we'll do that one the next week. All right, here's what we're going to go with for next week. Life is what happens to us while we are making other plans. Are you a planner or a more spontaneous type? Thanks, Ace. All right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right, Jay. I'll believe it when I see it. Am I off of the, can I go pee? Can I change my picture and go pee?